Madam Speaker Atkins, AB 2493.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. I am here today, Mr. Chairman and members, to present AB 2493. And this bill extends a one-year paid leave of absence benefit to California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, or CAL FIRE, firefighters who sustain occupational injuries. As summer begins, so does our wildfire season. Starting late last week, the Sherpa fire in Santa Barbara has burned nearly 8,000 acres of land. And thanks to the hard work of over 2,000 firefighters from the U.S. Forest Service, CAL FIRE, and Santa Barbara County, the fire is close to being contained. These firefighters are battling the same fire side by side under a unified command. However, the local firefighter will earn a different workers' compensation benefit than a CAL FIRE firefighter when injured on the job. Throughout my career in public service, I've experienced firsthand the important work that CAL FIRE firefighters do on our behalf. During my tenure on the San Diego City Council, I witnessed two of the largest wildfires in California history. When I began my speakership that very week, San Diego County battled 14 wildfires, all within the month of May 2014. Wildfires cost millions in damages, and in some sad cases, they claim civilian lives. Yet the threat to property and human life would be much more dangerous without the help of CAL FIRE. I authored AB 2493 because a firefighter is a firefighter, regardless of what entity issues their badge. Whether a firefighter is employed by the state, by a local government, or by a university, their injury risk is the same, and as such, they should receive equal health and safety protections under the law. By giving parity to CAL FIRE firefighters, AB 2493 ensures that all active duty CAL FIRE firefighters are able fully to recover from their illness or injury without having to worry about their finances. And if you'll indulge me, Mr. Chair, joining my colleague, Ms. Mitchell, I wanted to point out that I also have a Girl Scout shadower, Isabella Pena, who is from Temecula today. And just to make my point before I turn it over to my witnesses, I talked to the Girl Scouts this morning at breakfast and presented them this bill. And their statement was, that seems only fair. So in addition, thank you. So in addition to their support individually, not as the Girl Scouts, I would turn it over today. With me to testify in support is Megan Brightwell on behalf of the California Professional Firefighters and Aaron Reed on behalf of CAL FIRE Local 2881. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman and members, Aaron Reed, I'll be very brief. This bill is actually long overdue. Our firefighters fight right alongside local firefighters, and they have a completely different and a better benefit. Not only that, they get paid 30% more money, and they also work a shorter work week, 56 hours versus my CAL FIRE 72-hour work week. But this is not about the pay or the work week. This is simply about the disability benefit that is long overdue. This particular benefit's been in statute for over 4 decades. So we'd appreciate your support today to make it fair for CAL FIRE.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, Megan Brightwell on behalf of the California Professional Firefighters, pleased to be co-sponsors of this bill. I think you've heard the great testimony. This creates parity for our brothers and sisters at CAL FIRE, and we would respectfully ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll call witnesses in support.
Mr. Chair and members, Caitlin Vega for the California Labor Federation here in support.
Maria Garcia on behalf of the National Peace Officers and Firefighters Benefit Association in support.
Thank you for your testimony. Any others in support at this time? If not, we'll call on the opposition to AB 2493. Seeing none, Madam Speaker, thank you for bringing this forward. I've had a 25-year relationship with my CAL FIRE hero friends. I've seen them in some very happy times, and I've seen them in some very challenging times, especially when we had the Esperanza fire that was, you remember, it was started by an arsonist, and 5 U.S. firefighters were murdered, killed And it was the CAL FIRE heroes that went up there to fight that fire and to save property and putting their lives on the line. And they should be afforded the same protections that all their colleagues have. And you certainly mentioned, my friend, the employment disparities that still exist. That's something that I still want to fight for in the future. But for now, when you get hurt on the job, you should be afforded the same opportunities that other firefighters have in parity with other public safety agencies. And for that reason, I'm going to support the bill that my good friend, the senator from Los Angeles, already moved on behalf of the Girl Scout testimony from Temecula, we'll add. That was very influential. I'm glad to see there. Where are the Girl Scouts today? Can you stand up so we can see you?
We also have a few others in
It's
the
a delight
back.
to have you all here today. Thank you for coming to the state capitol. We're honored you're here.
I just want to, if I may, Mr. Chair, also thank the firefighters as the state senator from Santa Barbara. An incredible job in a tinder dry area that hasn't burned for almost 60 years. Reminded of it regularly. It's north of most of the city, but the air quality and the ash are just moving their way down. And just, I think I speak on behalf of all my constituents how much we appreciate the work that's being done and the work that the firefighters do. So I join heartily in that bill.
Thank you. We have a motion. We'll have a roll call vote. This is going to go to appropriations. Please call the roll.
Motion is due pass to appropriations. Mendoza. Stone.
Aye.
Stone, aye. Jackson.
Aye.
Jackson, aye. Leno. Mitchell.
Aye.
It has
Mitchell,
enough
aye.
votes to get out. We'll leave the vote open. Thank you very much. Okay. We'll call up next Assembly Member Mark Stone, AB 1843. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members. Thank you. I'm here to present AB 1843, which addresses the issue of sort of banning the box, which is a much larger issue. And in California, we've already closed that gap for adults who've been arrested, but there's been no adjudication, or their records are sealed. But interestingly, if that adult has a juvenile record or juveniles with a juvenile record, we have not done the same thing. And what this bill does is closes that loophole. We know that by giving, especially someone with a juvenile record, a chance, and a chance to rehabilitate and a chance to go into society, get a job, and be productive, that especially juveniles or those with juvenile records have a very, very high success rate. And this is trying to set up a situation where we do the same thing for a juvenile record as we do for an adult record, but also providing a much stronger system to prevent recidivism and ensure productive members of our society, even if they've made a mistake while a juvenile. And I ask for your aye vote. I do have some witnesses in the
Thank you so
courts.
much.
Mr. Chair and members, Lexi Howard with California Advocates on behalf of the Juvenile Court Judges of California. Judges particularly are aware when they're dealing with youth, whether foster youth or youth in the juvenile justice system, that those youth are still continuing to mature well into their mid-20s. We recognize that their brains are not fully formed and that jobs are the number one thing that we can do to help them continue their rehabilitation. With that, here to answer any questions and respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. David Steinhardt, representing the Commonweal Juvenile Justice Program. We've worked closely with the author on related bills, with Senator Leno, who's not here now, on similar bills, and we're in support of this one. AB 1843 fills a vital need to update the labor code with an explicit policy that protects and supports the employment opportunities for youth with juvenile justice system histories. The juvenile justice system is built on a principle of rehabilitation, and the records that are accumulated in the juvenile justice system are already protected by a law of confidentiality. And so this bill really brings the labor code into line with the juvenile justice rules that prevail in that system. It will make it clear to employers that the rules of confidentiality that apply in the juvenile justice system are now incorporated into the labor code. So with that, we would ask for your aye vote and remain available for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Any others in support of AB 1843? Please come forward.
Sarah Linder on behalf of the National Association of Social Workers, California chapter, in strong support.
Any others in support? Others in opposition?
Good morning, members. Catherine Austin Scott with the California Hospital Association. We're opposed unless amended, and I think we're working on addressing our concerns. We just wanted to make sure, I think we're getting there, that we were clear about what the issue was so that we can continue. The author has committed to working with us and on amendments and the like, so we just want to make sure you all understand what our concerns are. Current law, when it comes to arrests, do allow hospitals in 2 specific instances to still review arrest records for adults, and that is when they're with a patient or working with drugs. As many of you know from the many cures bills we've had, about 30% of our diversion from drugs comes from facility diversion. So we are very concerned about who's handling our drugs. And more importantly, we're really concerned about who is around our patients. So existing law does allow hospitals to look, health facilities, to look at these issues. So we've asked that the author extend that existing exemption to the juvenile adjudications only, not the arrests or all other issues in the bill. And for a, I think, 5-year period, they've agreed to do that. And we haven't seen the language yet, so we remain opposed unless amended. I know they're diligently working on it, but we are wanting to make sure that we continue to that we continue to have that exemption when it comes to patient care and drug exposure. So.
Thank you. There's a question from Senator.
Just want to make sure I understood your point. That exemption currently exists for adults.
For adults in
Got
arrest
it.
records, yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any others in opposition?
Matt Robinson on behalf of the California Association of Health Facilities. We represent over 800 skilled nursing facilities in California and then the 500 intermediate care facilities for developmentally disabled. Just want to echo the comments that Catherine just stated, and we are in the same position. We're working with the author and the sponsors on this, and thank you again for working towards our common goal. So with that, we're opposed, but once we see the amendments and we're satisfied with, we'll be neutral. So thank you.
Thank you. Any others in opposition, please step forward.
Move the bill.
Seeing none, the bill has been moved. We have a question by Vice Chairman Stone, and we'll go with Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I know you're working with the Hospital Association on some amendments, but as a pharmacy owner, we often will hire people to come in, assistants that will take in our orders when they come in. And so obviously we heard 30% of the diversion that happens from facilities, including pharmacies, where there's theft. So my concern would be, am I going to be allowed to know if a person that I'm hiring that's a juvenile to take in these orders, which includes narcotics, amphetamines, will I know if that person has a prior substance abuse issue that became a criminal justice issue in the past, or is that a question that I'm not going to be able to ask under this bill, which, and it was mentioned that these kids' brains are still developing. Well, they're developing at 17, they're developing at 18 still, so they're still not totally mature in accordance to what we've heard at numerous committees. So that's my concern as a business owner and thousands of pharmacies in the state of California. Are we going to have a right to know whether or not somebody we're hiring that's a juvenile has had a previous substance abuse issues, so we know if we're going to hire them, we're going to keep them away from these drugs?
Well, the premise of the bill is to give a juvenile a chance, or someone who has had a juvenile record that could be quite some time ago, an opportunity for employment. So generally, no. We are working on some amendments with the Hospital Association, trying to mirror and address the issue that they brought up with respect to what they can already do in exemption with respect to adult records. So we're trying to mirror that, and especially when something has gone to an adjudication. But where a record has been sealed, or where an arrest has happened and nothing has happened with that, then generally no. The promise is if a record is sealed, or if we're not going to hold you accountable, we're not going to hold you accountable. Or when the adjudication has happened, or when the price has been paid by an individual, the price has been paid. And it's not necessarily relevant. And I think what the Hospital Association is asking, that given the nature of what the business that they're in, and they brought that up. That's why we've been working on amendments. In fact, we're meeting this afternoon with them to continue that
I
conversation.
look forward to seeing those amendments.
And yeah, you will see those amendments. They're not.
And you're absolutely right. The price has been paid. They've served their time and probation, but substance abuse is not something that is dictated by a finite amount of time. These are people that have illnesses. This is a problem. And so my concern is that they're going to be, illnesses that are still going to be carrying on into basically having a diabetic working in a candy shop. It could be.
Well, that seems a little bit harsh, but
a little bit of a problem.
And you're right, and I would hope you would support us when we try and get what's effectively a disease with drug addiction and others out of the criminal justice system and into treatment programs, because then any of those individuals are much more likely, regardless of their past criminal history, to not be a problem to an employer or someone else, because we will have solved that problem. Just sending someone to jail or to prison for an offense and then not providing them any treatment is really counter to trying to ultimately solve that problem, as is if we prevent somebody who has a history of drug addiction from being able to apply for or get a job, then they're much likely to resort, and the numbers will show this, back to the behaviors that they had before. So even having had a prior mistake, and even having had a prior mistake that involved narcotics or some sort of an addiction, is not necessarily an indicator that that individual is going to reoffend, as long as we put programs in place to give them that opportunity. And that's really what this is about.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you, Senator Jackson.
Yes, I would also like to reiterate that when it comes to the hospital situation, that people in hospitals and in senior homes and so forth, they're particularly vulnerable. So it seems to me, to the extent that we have that exemption for adult employees and their adult records, I think that it's important, because just by the nature of the work, the interactions between senior homes, people who are frequently suffering from cognitive issues, physical issues, and also in hospitals when people are there, often sedated for treatment of serious conditions and all, that we make sure that the concerns about those interactions are addressed as we do with adult records. Other than that, I support the effort 100%, but these are particularly vulnerable populations. So I'm going to support the bill today and look forward to seeing how that issue with the hospital or the healthcare providers, I should say, resolves itself and sort of, vote on the floor conditioned upon that having been resolved.
Thank you, Senator. And we are, I think, very close to coming to an agreement with the Hospital Association, but it will be different. And the difference is that an adult offender has a much higher recidivism rate, ultimately, than a juvenile offender if we address those issues. And so there will be some differences between an adult applying for a job with a juvenile record, adult applying for a job with an adult record, and we are recognizing that, and that's the crux of the conversation that we're having with the Hospital Association. So you will see some differences, but I think they're very appropriate differences given the success that we have with a juvenile offender and giving them the opportunity that they deserve. They almost always rise to the occasion. If we respect where they're headed and their rehabilitative abilities, then they will be successful, and so there will be some differences, but we're working that with the Hospital Association. And
well, again,
I think we're very close to it.
recognizing the vulnerability issue. And
I understand. And that's exactly what the point is, and we're working that issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a motion on the bill, and I think there's no more other testimony. Would love to have the author close.
Thank you. I ask for your vote.
Great. Madam Secretary of the motion, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Mendoza.
Aye.
Mendoza, aye. Stone.
No.
Stone, no. Jackson. Aye. Jackson, aye. Leno. Mitchell. Aye. Mitchell, aye.
The bill has sufficient votes, but we'll be holding it open for an absent member.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and begin, take our next author, and that is Assemblymember Rodriguez. Please step forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I'm here to present AB 2105 is a follow-up legislation to AB 1797, a bill I authored in 2014 to increase the number of earn and learn job training opportunities in the healthcare field. The report commissioned by AB 1797 identified numerous barriers to expanding earn and learn job training opportunities, including the need for pre-licensure classifications that would allow students to gain supervised experience before obtaining their license. AB 2105 would direct the California Department of Consumer Affairs to engage in a stakeholder process for the purpose of addressing some of the barriers. This legislation is a continuation of important discussion to address the critical workforce shortage in the allied healthcare professions and create opportunities for Californians to establish themselves in high-wage jobs. With me to testify in support is Helen Dowden with the SEIU Local 1000.
Members of the committee, I'm Helen Roth Dowden from SEIU Local 1000, and we received an apprenticeship program grant that went to the community colleges with Delta College, where we're going to take 50 LVNs and they're going to become RNs at the end of this process. And through working on this, we found that there's numerous problems with trying to actually move these mainly women through the workforce. But in the end, these LVNs, after an hour of workplace-based training and education, will go from making $45,000 a year to $93,000. And when we looked at the makeup, something like 86% of them are minorities and 53% are single heads of household. So these are women who can't afford to go back to school on their own because they can't afford to take time out of the workforce as single heads of households. So what this bill will do is help us to explore what those barriers are that we can address in the health field that will be able to move people up through these earn and learn programs, basing it on successful programs, apprenticeship programs that we already have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other witnesses in support?
Morning. My name is Josiah Young with the Whiteman Group, also on behalf of SEIU California, in support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses in support? Seeing none, there's no opposition listed. Is there any opposition in the audience? Okay, seeing none, any questions from members? Seeing none, I'll, thank you. There's a motion. Senate Member Rodriguez, great job. Love the bill. Please close.
Thank you. Respectfully ask for aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Secretary, we do have a motion. Please call the roll.
The motion is due pass to appropriations. Mendoza?
Aye.
Mendoza, I. Stone?
Aye.
Stone, I. Jackson? Leno?
Aye.
Leno, I. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mitchell, aye.
All right, we have sufficient votes, but we'll leave it open for an absent member to add on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing the bill forward. Next, we'll have Senate Member Garcia step forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the Labor Committee. I'd like to begin by accepting the proposed amendments to AB 2719. This is a bill that reflects the federal government's bipartisan Workforce and Innovation and Opportunities Act and its efforts to integrate workforce development with educational opportunities for out-of-school youth. It's an unfortunate statistic, but it is a real one. Every 26 seconds, another young person drops out of school. This bill and the WIOA itself are tools to remedy the dropout crisis. The bill is a bill that has been supported by education, career technical, and civil rights groups. It's also a bill that we've been working very closely with our workforce boards, labor organizations, and the state workforce agency. We've taken a number of amendments to focus the bill's attention and ensure that the bill will help to serve the needs of California's out-of-school youth. AB 2719 has passed out of policy and fiscal committees in the Assembly and has no known opposition. Here to testify in support is Ernie Silva from SciTech, the sponsor of the bill.
Wonderful. Please.
Sure. Very quickly, I'm Ernie Silva from SciTech. We provide a fully accredited public school diploma program for out-of-school youth. We've got over 9,000 graduates, including over 1,200 in Senator Leno's district and over 1,400 in Senator Mitchell's district. We know that these young people have higher rates of poverty, chronic illness, physical and emotional abuse, and are more than twice as likely to end up in prison. Last year, ACR 96 recognized that if only half of California's dropouts earn a diploma, there's an additional $1.4 billion in annual earnings and $167 million in state and local tax revenues. AB 2719 increases the state alignment with WIOA by providing local boards and communities encouragement for transforming lives through existing community education opportunities. We ask for your support in providing additional support to these out-of-school youth. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Additional support, please step forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Danielle Lynch on behalf of the California Association of Local Conservation Corps. We work very closely with this population and can tell you firsthand the struggles that they reach in getting employment, and applaud the Assembly member for this bill in support.
Sarah Lindner on behalf of the National Association of Social Workers, California chapter, in support.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Senators. Pamela Gibbs, representing the Los Angeles County Office of Education. We provide services to over 67,000 homeless youth. We also serve a large population of incarcerated youth. Many of those kids are the very definition that this bill seeks to serve, as many of them are out of school, in and out of various programs. So for that reason, we urge your support for the bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Courtney Chan on behalf of MALDEF in support.
Leticia Garcia on behalf of the Riverside County Superintendent of Schools and the 23 superintendents of the 23 school districts in Riverside County in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other witnesses in support? I know there's no more opposition, but is there any opposition on the audience? Seeing none, I would like to bring it back to the committee. Any questions? The bill has been moved. No questions upon the senators. Mr. Garcia, thank you so much. This is a great bill. I think when you talk about out-of-school youth, I mean, that's a lot of kids in our community that are out there looking for something to do, and their bill does a lot to help them out. So thank you so much for bringing it forward. Would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you so much. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Mendoza?
Aye.
Mendoza, I. Stone?
Aye.
Stone, I. Jackson?
Aye.
Jackson, I. Leno?
Aye.
Leno, I. Mitchell?
Aye.
Mitchell, I.
Congratulations. The bill is out, the first one out today. Thank you. Okay. Next,